Hello everyone, it's Crittercrafts, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a slime vending machine. I got a lot of requests to do a tutorial from this video. If you want the full rundown on how this machine works, I will link that video in the description box down below. This vending machine is the exact same as the original except for some of the dimensions and a small piece in the coin mechanism. I will link my original down below as I said before, so you know how this one works. You should also check the description box for links to my Instagram and slime shop. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. For this project, you will need a ruler, a pencil, duct tape in any colors, scissors, an X-Acto knife, or you could use a box cutter, a nickel and a quarter, a hot glue gun, cardboard. For the walls, I suggest a thicker cardboard like this, but for the interior, you can just use a regular cardboard. You will also need a cup, mine is from just a Starbucks cup, a plastic bag, Velcro, and thick plastic. You'll also need any other embellishments that you can use to decorate. To make the coin mechanism, start with a shape that looks like this. Each side is 5 by 3 centimeters. To make this shape, measure out 5 centimeters, then 3 centimeters, then 3 centimeters again, then 5, then 3, and so on until you get back to the beginning. Once you have this shape cut out, put your ruler in this spot and we are going to make a score mark. To do this, just lightly run your X-Acto knife over this spot, and as you can see there's a faint line. Make sure to do this very lightly because you don't want to cut through the whole piece. Repeat this with all of your edges. Next, start bending each square flap thing until it kind of looks like a box. If you don't want to go through the hassle of making your own box, you can find something small like this at home. Next, you're going to want to hot glue two edges together. To make it a bit stronger, I'm going to add a line of hot glue on the outer edge, and I'm pretty sure I also added one on the inner edge. Then just finish hot gluing all of your sides together until you have a box. It should look something like this. I don't know what happened to that one side, I guess I measured wrong, but it's okay. Then, this is optional, but I'm just going to cover mine in duct tape. To make the main part of the coin mechanism, cut out a piece of cardboard that is 12 centimeters by 4 centimeters. Then flip it over, and using your ruler, mark out a little line at the 6 centimeter point. Then using your ruler, carefully make a score mark on the 6-inch line. Next, just bend your cardboard where you put the score mark. And just keep bending it back and forth like this. Then take your nickel and put it in the middle of one side of the cardboard. Then using your pencil, trace the outline of the nickel. Next, draw a box just outside of the nickel circle. Then simply, using your X-Acto knife and your ruler, cut out the box. Then just double check if you can fit a nickel inside of the square, and also if you can put a quarter over it. Then cut out a rectangle that is 2 centimeters by 5.5 centimeters, and you're going to want to cut this into your cardboard. Apply a line of hot glue on one of the edges, and then put it onto the left side next to where we made the box. Your final coin mechanism piece should look something like this. To make the spinny thingy, we are going to start off by measuring out 9 centimeters from the bottom of the cup, and just make like a little mark. Then take a piece of washi tape, or you can also use a thin piece of duct tape, and where you made the 9 centimeter mark, you're just going to want to wrap the tape all the way around the cup. This is so that we can get a sort of clean line when we cut. It'll just make it a bit easier. Then just cut all along the tape. And boom, it should look something like this. And don't mind me drop the cup in 3, 2, 1. Then from the bottom of the cup, measure 1.5 centimeters and just make a little mark. Then from the top of the cup, you're gonna kind of want to eyeball about like the halfway points and just make a slight mark on the sides. Then you're just going to want to cut out from the mark that you made on the sides down to that 1.5 centimeter mark. It should look a little bit like this. And don't mind me, just drop the cup again. To finish up the cup, measure out a circle that is about 4 centimeters in diameter. And to measure, I just used this washi tape. If you don't have one of those fancy circle thingies, just find something around the house that is about 4 centimeters. Next, you're just going to want to cut that circle out. And as I was saying, you don't have to have a circle that is exactly 4 centimeters, just something that fits in the cup. Then you're going to want to make 3 more of those circles, so you have 4 in total. Next, you're just going to want to glue all 4 of your circles on top of each other. To do this, I'm just using normal hot glue, but you can use whatever kind of glue you want. Make sure that it's strong. Once they're all glued together, it should be about 2.5 centimeters tall. Next, just glue that whole piece into the center of the bottom of the cup. You want your piece to look something like this. To make the handle of the cup, you're going to want to have a circle that is 8 centimeters in diameter, and I just used the old piece from the cup and measured that out. Next, just cut it out. You want to have 2 of these pieces. Then you're just going to want to glue both of those pieces together. In the end, it was about 1.5 centimeters tall. To make the inner shelf, take a piece of cardboard and measure out a 10 by 11.5 centimeter rectangle and cut it out. To make the push mechanism, measure out a 15 by 10 centimeter rectangle on a piece of cardboard and cut it out. To make all of the sides of the vending machine, we are going to start by measuring out a 28 by 23 centimeter rectangle on a piece of thick cardboard. Then just cut it out. You are going to need 2 of these pieces. Then measure out a 28 by 12 centimeter rectangle and cut it out. And again, you are going to need 2 of these pieces. Measure out a 23 by 12 centimeter rectangle and cut it out. You will only need 1 of these pieces. Lastly, you will need a piece that is 21 by 23 centimeters and just cut it out. You will only need 1 of these pieces. For the push side piece, you're going to want to measure 15 by 3 centimeters on a piece of cardboard, and then just cut it out. You are then going to want to cut out 3 more of these, so you have 4 in total. Using your glue gun, glue all 4 of these pieces on top of each other. In the end, your piece should look something like this. Then measure out a 4 by 4 centimeter square on your cardboard and cut it out. And to make it a bit easier, I just decorated that piece now, and I also decorated the larger piece as well. Then you're just going to want to glue the 4 by 4 square onto the one side of the larger piece. When you're done, it should look a little something like this. Take your 12 by 28 centimeter piece, this is one of the side walls, and measure from the top down 12 centimeters. You can see there's that little mark. And then from the side, 3.5 centimeters. Then make a 3.5 by 3 centimeter box. And make sure that the bottom of the box is the bottom of the 12 centimeter mark. It should look something like this. Next, just cut that square out. This part is a little confusing, so if you don't understand what I'm saying, pause the video now and you can just look at all the measurements. But if not, I'm going to explain them to you. So the first thing is you're going to want to take your 28 centimeter by 23 centimeter piece, and this is basically the front panel of our vending machine. And you're going to start from the top of the piece. You're going to measure 12 centimeters, and at that 12 centimeter mark, you're going to draw a line straight across. And then from that line, 3 centimeters down and 3 centimeters in from the side, you are going to measure out a 4 centimeter line. Under that 4 centimeter line, you are going to measure out 4 centimeters and then draw a 3.5 by 3.5 centimeter box. It should look something like this. Next, from that line, 1.5 centimeters in, you are going to draw a 11 centimeter line, and then this should be 1.5 centimeters from the top. Then draw a 9 centimeter line and make a box that is 11 centimeters by 9 centimeters. Then from the bottom of your piece, 1.5 centimeters in, you're going to draw a 6 by 9 centimeter box, like that. And then from the bottom, 9 centimeters up, and 4 centimeters in, you are going to draw a circle that has a 4 centimeter diameter. So it should look something like this. It's kind of hard because you can't see the whole thing in this frame, but it should look something like that. Now we are going to cut out all of the shaded pieces, like spots. So this box here, the circle, this box, this small box here, and then I forgot to mention, you are just going to want to draw a little line up. Don't draw it down, but up from this 4 centimeter line that we did. And this is going to be your coin slot, so just make it large enough for you to fit your coin. On your 21 centimeter by 23 centimeter piece, you are just going to want to measure out 12 centimeters from the bottom and then draw a line there. And and the bottom is the 23 centimeter spot. On your second 12 by 28 centimeter piece of cardboard, draw a 12 centimeter mark, and then right under that make a box that is 10.5 centimeters by 0.5 centimeter and cut it out. The pieces that you want to decorate or cover in paper or duct tape now include both of the 28 by 12 centimeter sidewalls, the 8 centimeter diameter handle for the cup, the front panel, the remaining 28 by 23 centimeter wall, the 15 by 10 centimeter push piece, the 21 by 23 centimeter piece. Make sure you can still see the 12 centimeter mark, and lastly the 12 by 23 centimeter top piece. Take your plastic bag and measure out a rectangle that is 7.5 centimeters by 12 centimeters. Then just carefully cut that out. Cut a slit in the middle of this piece, but make sure that you leave about a centimeter at the very top. This piece is going to go in the front of the vending machine where you get your prize. So on your front panel, make sure that it's ugly side up. You are going to take this piece that we just made and glue it right where the bottom square is, like so. You only need to glue it onto the top, because if you glue it on the sides, then it'll be really hard to get your prize. When you put the plastic down, it might shrink a little because the glue is so hot, so I just used some cardboard to flatten it down. Next, take some tape to secure it a little bit better, because sometimes the glue doesn't always work. And can we talk about how cute that tape dispenser was? I mean, come on, it was adorable. And it should look something like this. This is what it looks like from the front. Grab the 11.5 by 10 centimeter piece and glue it onto the line that we made on the inside of the front panel. This is the shelf that the slime sits on before it gets pushed to the pull and then push mechanism. Now just take your coin piece, and we are going to glue the top under the little coin slot and then the bottom under that 3.5 by 3.5 centimeter square. This is the rejection chute for coins under 25 cents. And we're just gonna forget that you can see my headphones in the bottom left corner. I may or may not have been watching YouTube, and we're also not going to see my hair that gets in the way of everything. And before gluing the bottom, I suggest letting the top one dry. It'll just make it a bit easier. It should look like this. Measure 12 by 13 centimeters on a thick piece of plastic and then just cut it out. Next, just glue it over the big rectangle that is on the front panel. Make sure to glue it onto the inside. For the plastic, I used an old folder, but you can use a CD case like in my original vending machine, a saran wrap, and a plastic bag if you can't find anything else. It should look something like this. To glue the cup in place, stick it into the hole like so. Then flip the entire piece over. Next, take the handle, the one with the 8 centimeter diameter, and glue it onto the piece of cardboard that is sticking out. Be sure to center the handle where you want. Once it's dry, you should be able to turn the cup smoothly like this. And that is all for the front piece. Take the bottom piece, which is 21 by 23 centimeters and has a line 12 centimeters from the top, and we are going to glue the entire front piece onto that line. When you glue it, it might be a little wobbly and unstable, but once we glue on the sides, it should be fine. Now take the piece of cardboard with the long slit in it, and we are going to glue this onto the side where this cup piece is, so the one closest to the cup. And when you glue it, make sure to kind of push the front piece forward. Now take the side piece that has the square on it, and we are going to just glue it onto the other side. When I was about to glue it, I realized that I had measured the square in the wrong spot, so as you can kind of see, the push piece can't go through because the shelf is in the way. To fix this, I made a piece to go underneath the sidewall. After putting that piece down and then putting the wall on top, you can see that the shelf is no longer in the way. Yay! Next, I just glued everything into place. This step is optional, but I just secured the box in place with some Velcro. To attach the back and top, start with 2 pieces of paper that are 23 by 6 centimeters and folding one in half. Then glue half of that piece of paper onto one side of the back, as you can see here. Then take the top piece and another one of those 23 by 6 centimeter papers that are folded in half and glue it onto the front side, or like the good side of the top piece, like this. And at this point I ran out of hot glue, so that's why I switched to stick. Next, you're going to take that top piece and glue it onto the back like this. Make sure that both of the ugly sides are facing towards each other. And let that dry with the top facing up like this. Now this part is a little bit hard to see, but you're going to take that entire back piece and glue it onto the bottom of your vending machine. So just fold that paper up and apply some glue and put it onto the bottom of the vending machine. It should look and work a little bit like this. I made this handle out of duct tape and it is pretty self-explanatory, so just tape it to the top of your vending machine. And if you want, you could also tape it to the side like in my original vending machine. Then add the Velcro to the handle and attach it to the front. Next, to add the final touches, place this piece inside of that square on the one side, and then take that long piece and put it into the other side. And last but not least, decorate. And that's pretty much it for the vending machine. And that's all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like it, and comment down below any critter crafts you want me to make next. If you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to click that big red subscribe button. Toodles!